everybody. Dr. Snellgrove here, recording a quick video to describe our argumentative essay for integrated reading and writing. So I don't know if this lighting looks marginally better. I've got the phone light trying to shine on me. I think it's kind of giving it a spooky campfire vibe all over again. Don't worry, I am going to cave in and get one of those damn streamer light setup things. I'm in my 40s. I never wanted to buy that. Anyways, this essay, my hope is that this is going to be a pretty straightforward little essay because essay 2, I think it's kind of an open secret that often throws people off a little bit. You probably haven't had to do anything quite like that before. But with our third essay here, it's an argumentative essay. It's really kind of like a simplified version of something that I always teach my 1101 students. And I always joke with them that it's kind of the bog standard argumentative essay. Like some teachers have different rules. I'll have weird little curveballs, for my assignment that might be different from what you've done before. But chances are you have had to write something like this in middle school, high school, or even your other college courses. All right. So if you look on Canvas, you're welcome to follow along here. And so it all begins with you picking a side on a controversial issue. And as always, I don't know if y'all are sick of this by now, you get to pick whatever topic you write on. So in this case, that can include, you get to pick controversies that maybe other people aren't quite as familiar with. I've had people writing about like controversies in, a video game fandom or an anime fandom. You can get pretty creative with it. But since we're in the back half of the semester, I would certainly understand if anybody is wanting to just kind of like grab a topic and go. And so I was recommending a website on here, procon.org. And so procon.org, if you've never been there, they have 70, 80 something topics where you click on it, gives you a little background info if you need it, and then just got a whole bunch of arguments. On the left, it's a whole bunch of arguments for something. On the right, it's a whole bunch of arguments against something. Now, I will tell you this, I would recommend you never actually cite Procon. It's a bit like Wikipedia. And if you're going to do a citation anyway, which you don't have to in this essay, it's like you want to follow the stuff to its original source instead of saying, according to procon.org. But anyways, that site is it has a collection of a whole bunch of controversial topics, and like I said, it's got a breakdown of arguments for and against them, both of which can be helpful for you. So going back to our assignment, you're going to come up with your thesis, which is really just your opinion on one of these controversial issues. It could be that this is good or this is bad. You could be arguing for something that needs to happen, or maybe you're arguing against something that you don't think should happen. But you put forth, as always, the thesis is your opinion. It's just, your argument, what you think. And then the rest of the essay is going to be explaining how and why you are right. So, for example, as you can imagine, my colleagues sometimes tease me like, Dr. Snellgrove, you let your students pick their own topics. What kind of papers do you get? I'm like, they mostly want to legalize marijuana, which fair. but in all seriousness, if your thesis is something like Florida should legalize recreational marijuana, then it's like, okay, that's my thesis. And then all my subsequent body paragraphs are going to be like, the first reason Florida should legalize recreational marijuana. The second reason Florida should legalize recreational marijuana. So in principle, this is actually, I guess, not that different from your first essay. That one was a little more on rails, though, because I was providing, a very specific, like, hey, give me your yes or no, thoughts on this, or, give me your elaboration based at least loosely off this thing from the book. This is just completely you. What topic do you want to pick? We're giving you lots of freedom here. I hope it's not too much freedom, but lots of freedom. And I hope you'll be able to pick something you care about, write about something you enjoy. Now, there is going to be I apologize. I lied to you. I was like, research is optional. Actually, this essay is our one research essay. I forgot that I did that. I used to always make our fourth essay the one that requires research because it's at the end. But I eventually had enough students telling me that they didn't want to have like the most complex paper because there's research be also the last one they do. So you do need to go and do some outside research. I'll have some subsequent videos about like citing sources, finding sources, citing sources, creating a works cited page, all of that fun stuff. But that's really the only like curveball here. It's still you writing a 2-page essay. It is still, MLA, still Times New Roman, font size 12, all of that fun stuff, is in place. And think of it this way, like on one hand, some people get nervous about doing research. On the other hand, the research is there to help you, fill your pages up. I've talked about this a lot with students, but to me, the scariest thing, and I say this as somebody with a PhD in literature, somebody who's a professional writer, it's still very scary when you look at that white screen and that blinking cursor and I got to fill all of this up, just me, just my ideas. That can be a little intimidating. So it sounds like a line, but I always like to remind people that research is an opportunity not just to learn more about the topic, but also to make hitting the page count easier, to make writing the essay itself easier. But yeah, right now that is about it for this. As always, if you have any questions about this essay, previous essays, or anything else, feel free to email me or feel free to text me at 863-835-2399. Y'all have a good one. Bye.